Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's second video to the ECMWF 42 days slash 6 weeks look ahead for today's second video. It's going to get us well into January. You believe that? Wow. I'm focusing on the UK and Ireland for this one, and I shall get on it for you in a moment. Just to say that the first video today was a 6 AM upload. Got weekend forecast coming up for you shortly. And if that wasn't enough, stand by your bed. It's got a 10 to 14 dayer later on as well. By the way, please like, share, and subscribe on the videos. And we thank you so very much, everybody, for tuning that. Right then, Louis D. I'm D my pad because I'm off to New York next week. In fact, this time next week I shall be in New York City, so there will not be an ECMWF 42-day forecast next Saturday because I won't be here to record it and upload it, and I'm not going to record it and upload it in New York, so it'll be a couple of weeks when this one returns. 2 weeks today. I would have thought we'll be on the cusp, then on the verge. Oh, Christmas, I don't know. Thank you so much to ECMWF.int for supplying the chart. Thank you so much, EC, for doing that. And we'll crack on then, shall we? Why don't we do it? Right, so let's start off with the week one mean sea pressure anomaly, which is going to take us from the 5th to the 12th of December. Goodness gracious me. So next week we'll see a large blocking area of high pressure around Greenland and Iceland. There'll be a corresponding area of low pressure running in from the Atlantic into southern southwestern Europe, and we should be bringing in a wind from a cold east or northeasterly direction. With that scenario, the 500 millibar anomaly I'm so sorry, from the Arctic and North Pole down, looks like that. Loads of high pressure blocking around Greenland, with low pressure below average heights to the southeast. Again, winds should be coming in from a cold or even a very cold northeasterly source. Right, so look at this. Temperature anomalies next week. Wow. Colder than average for the UK and Ireland. In fact, most parts of Northern Europe looking cold, but warmth is in the far southeast and southeastern part of Europe. But for the UK, for Ireland, we're looking at temperatures like 1 to 3 degrees below average next week. So significantly colder than normal. Precipitation-wise, pretty dry week coming up, although it is a bit wetter towards the east coast, maybe indicating a chance of showers, and, you know, as it's staying cold, they could be wintry, but overall drier than average anomaly there for the UK and for Ireland. Goodness gracious me, I don't know. Let's have a look at week 2 then. This will be the 12th to the 19th of December. Here we go. Not much change really, so the blocking area of high pressure still in there over Iceland and Greenland into northern Scandinavia. The low pressure is to our south and southwest, but again ever so slightly closer. Might bring something a little bit less cold into the south. Let's get rid of that, actually, that's wrong. Might bring something a little bit less cold with temperatures into the southern part of the country, but most areas I think are still within cold east or northeasterly air strings there. 500 millibar heights looks like that. Again, lots of blocking around Greenland and Iceland. Below average heights, low pressure to the south of it, and winds again in from the northeast. I would have thought there. Week 2 temperature anomalies keep it cold across most of northern and western Europe. So yes, UK and Ireland with cold average temperatures. Most parts of Scandinavia looking quite cold as well. The minor temperatures have drifted a little bit further northwards, but we're still within the cold air for the UK and for Ireland. I suspect it will be a rather more unsettled week as well. Look at that. So above average rainfall here, back indoor, above average precipitation as it is, and as it's cold, wow, we possibly have to think a a little bit of snow there. Especially for more southern and eastern areas. Snow in the middle of December. Goodness gracious, exciting, isn't it? Right, well, let's see what happens up to Christmas then. So week 3 will be the 19th to the 26th of December. What's going on? Let's have a look. Oh, there we see it. Still more or less in the same scenario. Actually, this is a prolonged cold spell that's setting up and will be a notably cold December, I think, by this point. Blocking still there around Greenland and Iceland. Low pressure over UK and West Europe. I mean, it might be a little bit less cold, especially in the south. The blocking is retreating slightly to the north, but overall the fundamental scenario looks pretty much the same there to me, really. Again, we're blocking around Greenland and Iceland and low pressure to the south of it, and you will think we're still drawing in wind primarily from a cold east or northeasterly direction. Let's see what temperature anomaly is doing. So we are losing cold average temperatures a little bit to some degree, so we're going closer to average there. So maybe going more towards cold rain and sleet rather than snow in the third week running up to Christmas. Precipitation anomaly, weakening signal, but overall still a little bit above average. You'll notice it is wetter still to our south. It's still drier to the north and to the northwest, so the fundamental pattern doesn't seem to be changing all that much. Week 4 will be the 26th of December to the 2nd of January. Here we go. Again, it all looks very similar, doesn't it? The blocking is still there to the north. Low pressure may be a little bit more towards the south in this week, so that's a bit more of an easterly type influence. Let's confirm that with the 500 millibar heights. I mean, not really changing, is it? So the blocking is still there. Whoops, daisies. The blocking is still there. To the north, from Greenland towards Svalbard. So sorry, everyone, just making sure that you've not drifted off with the below average height over to the south, and winds again coming in from eastern or northeasterly direction there, I would have thought. What's the temperatures doing? So they're near normal, or no signal really. I suspect this is still going to be quite cold. I think this keeps things pretty cold up to the end of December really on this update. Precipitation wise, you can see it, can't you? So it's still drier than average to the north. Greenland, Iceland, Scandinavia drier than normal, wetter than normal to our south. There's no reason why that wouldn't still be cold, I don't think, with winds still coming in from an east to northeasterly direction. Week 5 will be the 2nd to the 9th of January. Now, we have lots of blocking a bit in this week, so low pressure just sort of parking itself over top of the country. That might be turning milder and more unsettled into the new year. The 500 millibar heights, low pressure just to our west. I think that be bringing the wind back round to more of a west or a southwesterly there. The temperature anomaly goes milder, so into January we start to recover the temperature after the cold December. Temperatures begin to recover, go a little bit above average, and not much of a signal for precipitation, but you would expect quite a wettish sort of week there, I would have thought. And then finally, week 6 is going to be the 9th to 16th of January. Here we go. No? Here we go. What am I doing? What are you doing, Gav? Oh, well, what's going on here? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? There's not much of a signal there, is there, to be worked with. So putting 3 question marks and sing Marvin. The 500 millibar heights look like that. A little bit of higher pressure building towards Spain. That's always a signal for milder weather. Projection going back northwards, perhaps. Maybe. The temperature anomaly Well, we're into no signal, but it does look generally a lot milder by this point across most parts of Europe. So this might be hinting at a mild start to 2023, a mild first start of January, and the precipitation only finally you saw it earlier on when I messed up. Major running order, so just also a little bit wetter to our south over France, but not much of a signal. Wow, that was interesting, wasn't it? That was alright, wasn't it? Right, so we've got an interesting December on our hands. Certainly up to Christmas is looking potentially quite cold. It might even stay cold to the end of December. Wouldn't it be amazing if we could pull off a white Christmas? I don't know. But then to January, definite hints it goes milder. Really, as we get into January. But we shall not, think too much about that because it's a long way off. We've got lots and lots to focus on in December before we get to that. Right, well, that... interesting, isn't it? This week. That's it then for your ECWF for today. / 6 weeks look ahead. We shall do it again on Tuesday with the sort of wider European focus. And as I say, no EC42 day next Saturday. And the reason for that is going to be that I won't be here. I won't be here to record it or upload it. I shall be away. So we'll be back with this one, this feature, if you like, in 2 weeks. 2 weeks today. Right, well, that's it then. So I shall see you a little bit later on for the weekend forecast and the potato 14 day or two for this week's EC 42 day forecast. That's all for now, and thanks for watching.